Share the knowledge. Share the knowledge. Yes. Something like this. We got audio source. What up? What up? What up? I wanted to do something. I'm going to change my screen in a second, but there's something I just wanted to do and I already forgot what it is. Dang. All right, so this should be working. So for my people in here right now, quick audio check. 1, 2. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Let me know. Oh yeah, I can open up the chat app, by the way. Right now I'm looking at my screen in OBS, but let me just open the Restream chat app. What did I wanted to do something. Oh yeah, that's it. Let me get this in here real quick. All right, good to know. That's working. Hobie, what up to you? Salute, salute, salute. Catherine, what's going on? Y'all know in advance, by the way, I got to make this one a short one again. It happens sometimes. This is one of those cases. It is 7:10 p.m. in Amsterdam right now. I have to stop by 8 because I promised my my youngest I'm going to take him to bed. So, yeah, that trumps whatever else I do. So that has priority. So I'm making this a short one. Sometimes it's going to be like 3 hours long, and sometimes I'll just have to keep it a little bit shorter. It is what it is. So you know what the deal is anyway. Share the knowledge live, STK live, all about DJing and answering your questions. I just wanted to set up my Spotify for a sec. I know I did that last time. Poverty DJ, salute to you as well. Let me see real quick. Where did I do that the last time? Yeah, it's here, but what was I playing? Yeah, man. That's it. I mean, a lot of times I will skip that when I'm doing a stream and it's like bedtime. And it's not even like he's not young. It's not like I have to like tuck him in and take care of stuff. But I mean, they just like it if you every once in a while just make sure that you're there. So I definitely want to do that today. Okay, so let me just do a quick check if I'm playing this here. Got to turn my laptop audio off for a second. Let me see if OBS is catching that. No, it's not catching that. Oh, I turned it off again. My bad. Let's see. Oh, that doesn't work? Okay, too bad. It's not important though. Who else is in here? We got DJ Broski in here. DJ Waves. Let me get my chat app back open. Modrink's in here. Yes. Yeah, I wanted to play Spotify in the background, but somehow it's not coming through yet. Wait, I can use this one. This one is open as well. Let me see. Standard, yes. And use the speakers. Yes. So why is that not making any sound now? Felix, what's going on? Smydro, what up, what up, what up? Oh, yes, indeed. Fatherhood is without a doubt the best job. Absolutely love it. Timothy, what up? Solid, what up? Yeah, I've been in this this realm of daddyhood for a while now. I mean, every day is a new experience, a new challenge. But yeah, definitely loving it. So for 13 years now. Let's see. Ravi, what up, man? So yeah, I wanted to play Spotify, but that's not working. I'm gonna get to your question in a sec, Ravi. I'm just gonna see if I can do with my with Windows Media Player. Just play something through there. I just want to have a little something in the background going on. I don't know if y'all can tell, but there's a lot going on in the house. I can hear it a little bit. I know it's not going to be something that will bother y'all, but just want to see if I can get a little bit of sound in the background real quick. Where's that folder I'm looking for? Because I want to make sure I'm playing my own beats. Otherwise, I can't even monetize the stream. Not that that's really important to me, but I mean, any video that I can have, so on, in this case on YouTube, and I can hit monetize, I mean, every view counts up to be a little bit. And I mean, it's always cool if you're able to do that. So let me see what happens when I play you in Windows Media Player. Just to see what happens. Okay, so you're playing. Okay, as far as I can tell, you should be hearing music now. I mean, I'm not monitoring my computer. I actually only have headphones plugged into this microphone right here. So you should be hearing music right now. And let me know if that's too loud. I may have to turn it down a bit. It looks a bit loud if I'm just looking at the readout here. I'll get back to that in a second. What up, Michael? Felix, 55. You have a 5 and 2-year-old. Wow, okay. So you were late to the party, man. But still in time, though. I mean, as men, we have a little bit more time. All right, so let me just get into the questions because I don't want to run behind. Gus Gomez, what's going on? Salute, salute, salute. Spyro, Chicago. So first, I got to go back to Robbie. So when you mix, do you ever do backspins on the tune you're mixing out of? Okay, so in this case, because here's the thing. Like when I hear backspin, I automatically start to think in turntablism terms. So for me, backspinning means that you have the same record on two sides, on both decks, and that you play a part. Then you play that same part on the other deck, rewind the first one, then play that one again. So you're manually making a loop. But for a lot of people, a backspin is just basically spinning it back. If that second one, the latter, if that is what you mean, yeah, I've done that plenty of times. I'm doing a transition, and when I'm getting to the end of the transition, so the new track is about to get to the verse, I might just give the old track a backspin, or I fade it out with a scratch. There's a ton of things you can do. So yes, I definitely do that. All right, and then RC3, it's your birthday today. All right, congratulations to you. So Spyro had a question, and that was, did I try the new phase update? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. So when I was on Monday for crates, I wanted to use the new phase update and the new Serato beta version for that broadcast. And at first I had a little, wait a minute, I'm still small. At first I had a little issue with install or updating the firmware on the transmitters. So I had the new beta version of Serato installed. I had the new phase manager installed, and then I wanted to fix the transmitters and receivers to version 6, and it did not want to update. It somehow did just not want to update. So that was a laptop issue, I guess, because I just connected phase to my studio computer this week, and that update just worked straight away. So now I have the updated version. Let me get that down a little bit. So now I'm working with the updated version, and I haven't been able to do that with my laptop. So I have to see what happens there, because I did connect it to the laptop. But when I wanted to play, there was still an issue. I'll figure that out. But today I was in the studio, and I just hooked up phase to my studio computer, hooked up the S11 to the studio computer, and used my setup with Serato and phase with the wireless mode, so no RCA connected. And the performance was great. The only issue I had twice was that one of the transmitters took a little time to connect to the receiver, but once it was connected, the performance was great. So that was pretty cool to see. So you have my setup, and basically in this case, all you saw coming from the mixer was one USB cable going to the computer. And in this case, that was it. Like normally you would have an output going to the speakers, but I was just listening on my headphones. But that worked great. The performance felt really good. Now, I didn't really have any of the drift issues, even though the new version should have solved that. But it seemed to work great. So I'll be using that on... no, I might use it on Friday during Certified Bangers, but I might be playing with the CDJ 3000s again. So we'll see. But I'll be using it in one of the live streams pretty soon. Let's go back because there was more. Do you have shared the knowledge video on how to set up a live stream or multiple platforms at once? No, I really have to start making these live stream videos, tutorials, you name it. I'm using Restream to go to multiple platforms. Excuse me. To go to multiple platforms, and that's working great for me, but I have to make videos on that for real. All right, let me see. I do have to scroll up or down. Which way am I going? Oh, broski, that's dope. I didn't see that before. A dad of 2 years adopted a boy. Dope, very dope. Yeah, I have to go the opposite direction, I think. Yep. All right, audio source asked a question here. If I got a chance to do a shootout between the Rain and Pioneer mixer for vinyl. Not yet. I'm going to do that. And actually, let me see if I can do that this weekend, because currently I have the S7, S9, S11, and a 72, and Reloop Elite, all at the house. So I might just put the same vinyl and do a little recording with all of those to see if there's a big difference. Bruce, Dayton, Ohio in the building. Salute to you. Before the next tune comes, do you backspin the tune before the next tune kicks in? Yeah. So sometimes I do that. Yes. What are some DJ pools you recommend for throwbacks? All right. So here's an interesting one. From now on, I don't think I'll be recommending DJ pools anymore for throwbacks. If I would have to stick to that, my answer would be I'm not really sure. Like most DJ pools I see have a selection of throwbacks, but it's never like a super large collection from the ones I've seen, that is. But I would definitely point people towards BeatSource, using BeatSource link. I'll get back to that in a sec. Loco Lopez, what's good? Eve, what's going on? Salute. Swell Modelo, what up? Waves asks, do you feel the cut and dry approach, transition scratch, is the best when not able to mix tracks smoothly? So with a cut and dry approach, like transition scratch, I think you're talking about just doing a drop on the one, right? So you have a track playing, and when that phrase is about to be done and you get to that new one, that's where you just bring the new track in. Yes. In my opinion, that is the best way to go about it, especially if you're dealing with like larger BPM differences. Now, actually, no. Backspin. No, I love dropping it on the one transitions when things are getting hype. If the BPM difference is, let's say, like going from 120 to 100, I would not just bring it in on the one, because the difference in BPM might shock your crowd. That's a large transition. So you have to imagine your bounce as a club goer, someone on the dance floor, is going to be a lot different at a 120 beat. And if that just at the right time switches and goes down 20 BPM, that's going to mess you up with your bounce. So I think I would prefer to either just drop that 120 out a little bit earlier. So maybe a couple of counts early and just say something or do something host wise and then bring in the new track so they're more prepared for a transition that will change the BPM, or do something with an effect where I'm going to do an echo and the echo is going to be 100 BPM, but I use that echo for the 120 BPM track. And in that echo, you can bring that 100 BPM track in so it sounds natural when you hear it. I mean, there's ways to go about it, but yeah, dropping it on the one, so that's going to be a real abrupt transition to a BPM like that. That's tricky. And if I'm going to do a BPM switch that's like substantial like that, I want to make sure that the new track I'm playing is something they're familiar with, because that is also going to take a little bit of the shock out of it, because it's going to be more of a recognition factor than the actual thinking about the BPM factor. Do you use two computers to stream? So for instance, for this live stream right now, no. This is just a laptop and I'm on the webcam. An older laptop. This is a Microsoft Surface Book 1. I think they're currently at like 3, 4 or something like that. Maybe even more. I don't know. So for this one, I'm streaming using OBS, using the webcam from the Surface Book, and I have a USB microphone connected. That is the Rode NT USB Mini. A little microphone. Thing is built like a freaking tank though. And it's pretty good. Like I'm in a fairly small room with a lot of reverb in here. So this is not the greatest place to record, but for a stream, it's okay. With a mic like this, you can get it, like if I get really close, you can get this nice warm type of voice. You're going to hear less of the reverb. This can sound pretty good. But then you have to like really be close. So as soon as I step away a little bit, you're going to get more reverb. It actually sounds a little more natural. But overall, it's just great to have this a USB mic, so I don't need extra audio interfaces or anything. In this case, this microphone has a headphone input, so I'm currently using these in-ears so I can hear myself. It's not necessary. I'm not doing that to hear if the microphone is working, but I do tend to feel more comfortable if I'm doing a broadcast, if I can actually hear myself this way. This feels much better than just talking in the room with a microphone in front of me. Even though I know it's working, this is more comforting. I can actually hear what the mic is doing. So in this case, no. Now, if I'm doing a live DJ set, I'm still using one computer to stream, but it's not the computer I'm using to DJ. So I have this laptop. This is my DJ laptop. So I'm using this with my DVS setup or whatever I'm using, a controller, you name it. And then my studio computer, that's the computer that's going to be doing the actual broadcasting. So there's all sorts of setups. I recently did a set here from this little mini office, and I streamed that set live from a GoPro. So not a GoPro going to a computer. The GoPro was actually transmitting the what I was shooting straight to Restream. So there's a ton of different ways to go about it. Now on my GoPro, I have I bought a new GoPro, the GoPro 9, and you can buy a special media mod for that. That's an actual, it's like a case that goes around the GoPro. But when you add that case, you get an HDMI, USB-C, and line input. So that way I could actually hook up things like I was using my iPad to DJ. Then I had this little 6-in-1 thing on my iPad, which has an audio out going to the GoPro. I mean, there's so many ways, and that I need to start making videos just showcasing different ways you can do it, because there's a ton of ways. So for instance, Rode also has they have these wireless mics. I have like a really old version. Then they came out with a nice looking version called the Wireless Go, like these small squares that have a mic in there. I just saw that they came out with a new version, and this new version, you can actually just connect that to your computer, the receiver, And then it works as an actual like audio interface, so you could record your voice and it could go straight into the computer. But it comes with 2 transmitters, so 2 audio sources. So you could potentially connect your DJ set to one of those, use like a mic like this for, or like a small mic for the other one. I mean, I can go on and on. There's tons of ways to go about it. And I need to start making videos about all of these ways. Yeah. Let's see. Have I tried the Rain 12 Mark II? No, I haven't had a chance to try the Mark II at all. So I have, no, I have no idea. No. Redbeard, what up? Original Fresh Prince, DJ Herman. Salute, 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 salute. All right, so, wow, that was hot. Sorry. I see Loco Lopez talking about another DJ pool as well. Not all that impressed with the selection. DJ Six, salute. So here's the thing. Oh, I said DJ Solid. It's DJ Soul. My bad. Here's the thing. What I'm discovering, and I'm actually kind of late with truly discovering it, and it's actually pretty stupid because I work with DJ City / Beat Source. I've showed Beat Source multiple times in live streams, you name it. And what I did, because that's the first thing, the easiest thing to do, is I showed a lot of the playlists that are on there and how you could add those. And then with Beat Source Link, you can use those in your DJ software. But for my last stream on Monday, that was a Beat Source edition. I actually had a little bit of extra time, and I started to really take a closer look or spend some more time to not just go to the playlist, but to actually search for an artist. And from that, I got sent to more from that artist and more from that label. And that was when I finally, like, even though I've been saying it, like Beat Source has all of the licenses with the labels, so they have like a bunch of catalog. It didn't even dawn on me how deep the catalog actually was until I started to go to individual artists and songs. If you want to talk about like a throwback catalog, I don't think, I know there's no DJ pool that can come close to what you're going to get using Beat Source Link. Like, it was ridiculous. I mean, I found, I mean, there's a lot of like just all of the albums from certain artists, like going way back. Let's say Ouncas. I was looking at Ouncas, going back to like all of the old albums, entire albums. So you got all of those tracks on there too. Finding artists like King Sun. For hip hop heads, you might know King Sun, but to me, there's like, wait a minute, they got stuff like that on here as well. So throwback wise, you're not gonna find a DJ pool that's gonna have a selection that's that deep. But of course, with a DJ pool, you actually download all the songs and have them on your computer. With Beat Source, that's not the case. So it's only for streaming. So yeah, that is a difference. But for instance, for me, if I'm streaming and I'm at the studio and I got a wired connection, I know I'm safe. Now, I've tried Beat Source Link on the road in the past, and I didn't have issues because I had a good connection at that venue. I can imagine that it could be tricky in certain places. Even though I have the 100 tracks that I could store offline, it's still, yeah, it'll take more time for people and for DJs to really start trusting that, I think. But it will happen. JNYC, what up? Do you think it's worth to upgrade from a Pioneer S9 to an S11? Only if you feel that that S11 has stuff that you miss on your S9. I mean, yes, it has features like just the screen alone. I love screens. So for me, that was like, okay, you have an S11, basically an S11, you have an S9 with the screen. Perfect. Now there's more to it. So for instance, the fact that you have the individual performance pads on your S9, you click on one mode and then both decks, both of those performance pads do the same thing. With the S7 and the S11, you have individual options. Plus, you can do a top row for one and a bottom row for something else. Then you have a couple more features. But are those features interesting for you? That's what you need to think about for yourself. Max, what up? Max Grable. All right, that's dope to hear. Appreciate that. I appreciate that. T-Warp, what up? From all those battle mixers you own, which one do you recommend for a long term? I love the Reloop Elite, but the lack of effects on board is sad. So for me, Pioneer mixers have been my favorite mixers. That is my personal preference. And I think it's more of a feeling thing and being used to it than it actually being better than, for instance, the Rain 72 or 70 mixer. So for the longest time, the 909, the DJ M909 was the favorite mixer. That was my thing. But I had to always bring the 909, my SL1, my Dicers. So at a certain point, when that S9 came out, that like blew my mind because that was all of those things in one device. So that was perfect. So the S9 has been my go-to mixer, my favorite mixer for the longest time. Since it came out, that was my favorite mixer. Then I got the 72. And for me, that was just like very comparable. A couple of things are just placed a little bit differently, but very comparable. But it had that screen, and I really like that screen. So the S9 was still my favorite feeling-wise, but feature-wise, that screen and the USB hub in the back was really a plus for that 72. That's why I really like that S11, because that now has the one thing or two things that I really liked on that 72. The S11 now has that. Now, the Reloop Elite is a mixer that I actually like, but I've said this before. If I have to choose between the mixers that I own, that's not the mixer I'm choosing. For the simple fact that I'm more comfortable using the Pioneer mixers, and that could be the S7, 9, or 11, or that Rain 72. I'm more comfortable using them. I enjoy the workflow more. I'm not the biggest fan of that effect section with the fader, but I did say if it's your only mixer, if that was my only mixer, I would take that mixer, stay in the studio for a week straight, and really figure it out. And then it is a great mixer, and I could get it to work for me, of course. But yes, onboard effects is a big one for me too, because I hardly ever use the Serato effects when I'm using one of these mixers. So the Pioneer onboard effects are some of my favorite. So not having that is indeed something that bothered me as well. So, I mean, you can't go wrong with a S7. You can't go wrong with a S11. You can't go wrong with a S9 if you have one. If you don't have one, I would go for either the S7 or S11. Can't go wrong with that 72. I've never tried the 70, but I can't imagine that it's not a great mixer. But I would never get it because I really like that screen. So having a 72, for me, going to a 70 would feel like a step backwards for me personally. Oh yeah, for the ones who came in a little bit later, I already said in advance, I can only be on until 8. I have to make this a short one because I made my son a promise. I'm gonna stop at 8. So it's gonna be a short one. And you're gonna find out that today is probably gonna be one of those where we have a ton of people with a ton of questions. We'll make the next one longer again. Robbie says, can you name a few tracks that you like to beat juggle and scratch and do routines with? No, not really. Now, when I started out and when I first started to really practice turntablism, I had favorite records because I just had records that were the records I had 2 copies, and I just used the same records all the time. But I don't really have like favorite records. That's the thing. I was never one of the DJs who made like a lot of routines and would do those routines and we're not talking about like 5-minute like DJ battle routines, but taking actual just a song and doing a routine with that song and then play it. I have some colleagues who do that all the time. When they DJ, within their DJ set, they'll have like 5 or 10, depending on how long they play, like 5 or 10 little like routines that they do basically every time they play that track. I've never done that. So I can't, I don't really have favorite tracks. And when it comes to scratching, for me, it's all about when I'm doing a transition. If there's like a nice sound on one of the two records. So let's say I'm playing one record, I'm bringing a new song in. If in the hook there's like a nice yell or a nice sound or a longer word or whatever it is, I'll just grab that word, start using that to scratch. I'll keep it as basic as that. Now, if you have something like Scratch Bank available, maybe I'll start to use that a little bit more and have like a couple of scratch sounds loaded into banks. But mostly I don't do that. I'll just use whatever's on my decks. All right, let's see. And in terms of quality, does the Elite stand a chance? Audio quality. See, that's the thing, and I need to do that more. I've never really tested the audio quality or do comparisons for mixers. The first thing in recent history was like the phono amp comparison between the S9 and S7. So I would need to actually check that out. I mean, everything sounds okay in my studio, but that's not really a proper test. I should actually just take, even digitally, just a song, play it on all those mixers into the studio computer, record it so I can compare how it sounds. So I didn't notice anything strange. I think within that range, all of those mixers will have decent to pretty good audio quality. I can't imagine otherwise. TLM anyway, to use CDJs with an S9 mixer as standalone with no laptop. Wait, where's the question? Anyway, to use CDJs with S9 mixer as a standalone unit with no laptop. If the question is how, or let me know, Max. What's the question in that sentence? Let's see. Have you ever tried? Robbie asks, have you ever tried to rap or freestyle yourself? No, not tried. I actually did. So I think I've done like basically all aspects of hip hop to some degree. Now graffiti wise, I never did like pieces. I did have a tag, and I used to tag. When I was young, I used to break dance. That was actually like the first of the elements of hip hop that I tried, because I didn't need anything for it. I just went outside on the front porch and tried to do what I saw in the Rock City Crew video. I mean, I didn't have any teachers or whatever, so I was doing something, but b-boying was the first thing. DJing was, of course, the main thing after that. But I spent a lot of nights, and we used to do those at my house, where we had our freestyle sessions, basically. So my house was the get-together spot, because we had a lot of trouble getting into clubs, mostly due to racism. But we just got tired of it, like dressing up and everything, and then just getting denied access. We were like, why are we even going through all this trouble? Let's just do our own thing. So my house was the place. And to be there, you either had to get on the decks and play music, play the instrumentals, or you had to rhyme. So we were doing like hours and hours of freestyle sessions, and then someone will be behind the decks playing like instrumentals. And if for like a time we didn't spit, we might play a few songs, but the rest of the night it was all about just freestyling. Or if you had written raps, that was cool. You could just spit your writtens, but you had to get on the mic or on the decks to be in my room. That was the thing. And I've been the tour DJ for Brainpower, artists out of Amsterdam, for the last 23 years now. But in the beginning, we actually did a lot of performances as Brainpower and TLM. And I did not only do his backings, but I also did a couple of verses. But it was never like really a thing of mine that I also wanted to be an artist or whatever. So sometimes I write a little bit, and who's to say that I might not release something one day that's not just music or scratches, but might also have some vocals on it. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, there's more. I forgot the name now, but there's more than Restream. I just found Restream, went with Restream, and up until this point, it's worked out well for me. I have one of their subscriptions. I don't know what kind of tiers they have, but I have like one, like I think they have a free version or beginner version, whatever, that allows you to stream to a couple of platforms. But I wanted to add a custom platform, and I wanted to be able to use Facebook, not just a personal page, but if you want to use like an artist page, because that's what I'm streaming to on Facebook, then you need to have one of their other subscriptions. But up until now, it works pretty well. I hope Mixcloud will improve their compatibility with Restream, because in Restream I can like change the title for a stream, and then it will just send that to all of the platforms, and the name and everything will be in there automatically, except for Mixcloud. I have to go to Mixcloud and manually do that every time. But I like it. I mean, I record most of my streams on OBS while I'm streaming. But in this case, for this one, I'm not. And that's because I don't necessarily have to, because Restream automatically records my my streams as well. So I can always get a copy there. Even though I know if I'm in the studio and I'm doing one of my mixes, I'd rather just capture it with OBS. That will be better quality, but still, it's dope that they do that for you. Yeah, Poverty DJ. I still have to figure out what's up with my GoPro 9. Because like I'm seeing a couple of issues that I haven't been able to solve. I got it because of the improved image quality and the fact that I was still using a 5. But my 5, for instance, doesn't have the crazy issue. If you've seen one of my recent streams, I've been using the 9 for the eagle eye view. I'm getting a lot of like flickering from the lights. And it doesn't matter if I change the setting in the GoPro from 50 hertz to 60 hertz, the anti-flicker, it still does it. So I have to do some more experimenting with that, because my GoPro 5 didn't give me, didn't really have those issues. And there was one other thing. But yeah, besides that, I really like it, even though a lot of the features on the GoPro 9 are features that are not for in the studio, like the great stabilization and the time lapses and stuff you can do. That's dope for outside, or for maybe in the summer, if by any chance there's some sort of gig, stuff like that, or just holidays. But in the studio, most of those features aren't being used really. But I still have to figure out what's going on. I haven't used the GoPro, so I don't know how your GoPro is connected to your computer, because in my case, all of the cameras are just used with the HDMI output going into my ATEM Mini Pro, and that is connected to the computer. Abdel, what up? What do you think about the Irig 2 for live streaming DJ sets? I personally never used the Irig 2, but I know plenty of DJs who have been using Irigs for years, and I've seen them in action, and they work great. So for the audio part, I think it's a dope thing. I mean, I recently was on the Irig site, and I saw they have a lot of different versions now. So I need to do some more research to find out what is what. So I haven't personally used it, but I know a lot of DJs have been using Irigs for a pretty long time. Michael, what up? Oh, wow, that's a new one. I've never seen my name as DJ LMT. I mean, I've seen a lot of MTLs. This is the first MLT. So congrats to you. Let's see. My record box works fine before I plug in my DDJ 800. Once I plug it in, it gets laggy. Okay. No, I wouldn't know why. It might be something in settings, but I'm not sure. No, I don't know. Guranga from Portugal. What's going on? Love Portugal. I mean, I've only been there once, but I really liked it that time. And I'm for sure going back again. I froze on Facebook? Okay. And that message was from 20 minutes ago. I know, I've been talking long again. So, Dre Markeith, what up? Remember back in the day, DJ Chainsaw was doing a demo and had you try the NS7. Yes, I remember. I forgot the name of the store. I believe that was in a store. Yeah, at that time, Chainsaw was working as a representative for Newmark, and actually got the NS7 through him, the one that I use in all my videos, the one that I still own, by the way, 100%. So salute, Chainsaw. That's like a Dutch OG. That's like one of the DJs that I saw perform when I wasn't even DJing that much, or DJing at home but not in clubs. If I would go to hip hop shows in Paradiso, you had like the DJs before me that were already like doing shows there, and he was like an OG DJ, but like also one of those badass turntablists. And he did crazy stuff. He used to, like, I remember he used to backspin and take his shirt off while he was backspinning and stuff like that, like going at it ninja style. What up, DJ D1? Salute. All right, the second computer you use while you're performing is a gaming PC, because I don't want to drop that type of money. I wonder if an i5 Generation 9 will be efficient to stream 1080p with a green screen and video in the background. Look, you're talking about the CPU, but the most important thing here is also your GPU, your video card. So my PC is not a gaming PC. I built my PC myself. You could use it for gaming because the video card would work for that as well. But of course, for me, I built this PC, not this PC, I'm on a laptop now, but in the studio, I built the studio computer, especially for video editing, music production, and if I want to, I can game as well. So I make sure that I do have a powerful CPU, but it's not really for the streaming. That is for other applications. And I needed to make sure I had a powerful GPU video card in there as well, and plenty of RAM. So I don't know. You don't need to buy a gaming PC for streaming. That's definitely not necessary. But I would make sure that you take a look at what kind of GPU is in there as well. And yes, gaming PCs will have better GPUs a lot of times, but they can get expensive indeed. Let's see. DJ Heights says, what do you think about the tiers and the pricing? Now, you asked that question a while ago, so I'm not sure what we were talking about. So the tiers and pricing for what? For which service or application? Let me know. E-Deuce, what's going on? Using Rekordbox 6 with the S9. 4-bar auto loop button. Need to edit to what to only activate auto loop. Ooh. You're asking the wrong person. I would have to find that out online as well. I honestly don't know. Oh, E, for real? When you turn on your phase, the internet connection won't work anymore? Okay, that's weird. All right, Grant has a question. And we got 10 more minutes, so I'm going to try and go through these a little bit faster so I can get to all of your questions. But what are your thoughts on mixing with sync button? That is the question. My thoughts on that, that is up to each and every DJ to decide how they want to play. That's it. Simple as that. I have no issues with DJs using sync. I just always advise people to also learn how to mix by ear, just in case anything happens with sync. And you can't always rely on sync. It all depends on what kind of music you're using. Is that quantized music? Are the grids correct? Otherwise, sync can mess you up as well. So that is it. If people want to use it, go ahead and use it. But it's in your best interest to also know how to mix by ear. What's your advice for DJing live? Is it important to keep up with the comments while DJing at the same time? What's the best way to do both? Amina, so DJ live streaming, of course, you're talking about in this case. So here's the thing. I see different DJs do it differently. My personal approach has been to really stay in touch with the audience. So really keep an eye on the comments. And I try to reply to as many people as I can, just to give you that recognition, to let you know that, hey, I see that you're here and I appreciate that. So I try to keep an eye on that. So you will need something to monitor the chat while you're DJing. It has to be near your DJ set so it doesn't take away from what you're doing. And it also depends on how live that chat is. I can imagine that some of these bigger DJs on the platform, and anytime they go live, they'll have like hundreds of viewers, and all of those are going ham in the chat. And I can see it with some of those streams. You see the chat coming by like bam, 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 bam. You're not going to be able to keep up with that. So either someone has to have like moderators that can answer for them, or at least give them the most important messages or whatever. But I think it's important. And for most of us, when we stream, we will not have a crazy large audience. That's just not happening yet. I think it's important to give people recognition because, first off, people appreciate recognition. And it's also a great way to actually try to build some sort of relationship with your viewers. If you're just there mixing and people leave a comment like once or twice and they see that you don't react, it's not like they're automatically going to resent you. I don't think so. I mean, some people do. They'll take it very personally, even if you can tell that the DJ has no time to watch his chat. Some people will still get mad. But even if people don't get mad, if you don't respond like once or twice or 3 times, if they're persistent, they might try it 3 times. If you don't respond, they'll just stop using the chat. And the chat is important to build some sort of community feeling, because if you like the live stream, but the chat is also popping, or at least cozy, friendly, then that might be a second reason for people to come back. So not just for you and the music, but also because there's always cool people in the chat. So if I interact with my viewers, they are more likely to also feel free to actually have conversations in the chat, which is dope, especially also with like streams like this. I can see people are answering each other in the chat. So I can even skip certain things because I can see people are already having their own conversations. But of course, this is different than a mixed stream. But in my opinion, I think it's important to try to build that connection, because live streaming is a different animal. Like if you're live on a stage, you might grab a mic and talk to people, but they're not going to be able to have this type of communication with you. In a live stream, they do. But then again, some DJs choose not to do it, and that's their choice. And that's going to be their message. Like, hey, I'm just here. I have no mic. I just do this. You can watch me. And if you want to have your own conversations in the chat, go ahead. I know Mojax does multiple live streams, and in some he's always talking, and he has one live stream he does every Sunday, and he specifically says it's like he's doing like I think it's liquid drum and bass or something like that. No microphone. That's his thing for that particular live stream. But in all his other streams, he does talk. So it's a personal decision. In his case, it's very doable because he already built like a community there. So they'll have fun in the chat without Mojax for that stream, and then connect with him in the other ones again. Call me Giles. Salute to you for the bits, man. I appreciate that. Abdul, salute to you as well. All right, so Original Fresh Prince. Monday Crates was crazy, but I would like to know, is the way you presented the frame and labeling of your video screen view. Okay, so the label I have there, so for instance, in this one that you see right here, you have the Share the Knowledge logo, of course, the DJ TLM TV logo, and I can just take that out like that. That is just something I made in Photoshop. Pretty basic, actually. So for Monday, like normally for my crate stream, I have like this one. That's the normal one for crates, but because I want to now make sure that people know when it's like the special edition, so I'm going to make sure I have one for the vinyl edition for next time. Same thing with what it is with the Beat Source edition. I wanted to make something that was actually that you can identify straight away. So that should still be in here somewhere, actually. Oh no, of course that's on my studio computer. That's not on this one. But anyways, I make those in Photoshop. It's just one simple overlay, and then I have a couple of extra plug-in type of things that that I use within Stream Elements. I use Stream Elements to make some overlays, and you make them in Stream Elements on streamelements.com, and then for every one of those overlays, you just get a URL. And then in OBS, I can just add a browser source, copy that URL, and then the little followers box I have right there, or the Restream chat thing, they'll just show up here. Let me put my STK live back. There we go. Thank you for sharing the knowledge. Follow you, watch your YouTube. Naftal, salute, thank you. Mixmaster G, what up, what up? And let's see quickly, because it's basically 8. I'm going to give it 5 extra minutes. 5 extra minutes. So JNYC, thank you. And let's see. Francisco, what up? Sven, what up? Guten Abend. All right. MKC, oddly specific. Can you do a tutorial on how to do the scratch on the second chorus on Gangstar X Girl, the next girl? Okay. Wow. I have to. Where's my? I don't want to forget this. Even though I don't know when I will have time for it, I'm going to take a photo of this. That could be a dope topic. Yeah, man. I love the scratches on X Girl, the next girl. Even though Premier keeps them pretty basic in that, I'll have to check out the second chorus to see which ones he's doing there. Dope question. I like that. Timothy, what up? How do you consistently keep a light touch or light hand while scratching on turntables and avoid getting a heavy hand? Repetition. Just doing it over and over. Getting used to the feeling, and also being used to doing it for longer periods of time. So that's all. Just repetition. Let's see. Yeah, Giles, I appreciate that, bro. 100%. Sven, what up? Do you also have sometimes when you play while a gig that you don't know what to play? Don't want to waste hits or have the feeling that I don't have enough music? 1000%. I think every DJ has been there. If you're playing freestyle, if you don't have your prepared set, you will have certain points, especially if you are dealing with a crowd that might not give you the best feedback. So sometimes it's pretty clear, like, okay, they like this, they don't like that. Sometimes you have an audience that doesn't give you that much feedback. And yes, I've definitely been there. In the vinyl days that I went through the same crate like 6 times, and none of the records I saw felt like the record to play next. And digitally too, like scrolling, coming, going through a bunch of folders 2-3 times. It happens. And at a certain point, if you don't find anything fast enough, you're going to have to grab something. And hopefully you'll get inspiration from that next track. But yes, I've definitely been there. Shorty from Philly, what up? Thoughts on the new update to the Denon SC6000? For the 6000M, I have not tried that. You have Mixmaster G in the chat right now. He has that player, and he's used the new update. So maybe he can tell you more about that. I have the SC5000 and the M, but I haven't gotten around to do the new update. So I don't know. All G, when are you going to write your Share the Knowledge book? We'll see. We'll see. No, I don't see anything like that happening in the near future, though. Just Edge, what up? What up, Edge? Just started to get into DJing. Most interested in older records, 60s, 70s, 80s R&B, electro funk, disco. No, not all record pools have a deep catalog. Can you make any recommendations? So I was talking about that earlier, right? Like when it comes to like older music, I don't think anything can beat Beat Source and Beat Source Link, but that's just not the same thing as having the music on your computer. You're going to be streaming the music in your DJ software. But the catalog is ridiculous. The catalog is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, you know what? I won't really have time to show that. I'm gonna do that this Sunday because that's gonna take way too much extra time. But like I was going through that on Sunday, and there's just so much in there, so much in there. Um, let's see. Did you check out the BeatSource beta DJ software to prepare and check out music? The BeatSource beta DJ software. I think you're probably talking about what I'm just talking about, BeatSource Link. Like with BeatSource Link, you're using the music from BeatSource, and the catalog is ridiculous. Um, Beatport, no, I have not used. I haven't used Beatport Link, but that works the same way as BeatSource Link. But I haven't used any of the Beatport services. Emilio, I see you. Let's see. I think you have to really change up some settings while streaming. Best advice for all mobile DJs concerning devices and materials. I don't have a lot of experience with mobile DJing, so I can't really give advice when it comes to that, honestly. Poverty DJ. I mean, I've seen a lot go by. I'm not sure what is what, but I see you talk about just connect to the media mod. Um, so when I use my GoPro, if I'm using my GoPro normally, I connect it through the HDMI output on that media mod. In this case, that goes to my ATEM Mini Pro, my Blackmagic ATEM Mini Pro. That's my video switcher. I have like three video sources connected to that, and my laptop. So four video sources, three cameras, and a laptop, and that goes to the studio computer, just connected through USB. There is a way I think you can just connect the GoPro Hero 9 to a computer with a USB-C. I haven't done it that way. So I did stream straight from the GoPro. Just used the app on my phone to start that live stream, set up all the things, the settings, and then started streaming. Thank you for the follow. 3 Van I. Let's see, because I really have to stop. Actually, I'm already past my time. Vinyl Touch with the same question. That's dope. Somehow this needed to be talked about today. What do you recommend for getting older tracks? Most DJ pools are good for new, but bad for back catalog. Back catalog. Beat Source Link. Now, of course, if there's tracks on there that you really want, you can just buy them on Beat Source. If you want to use everything in the DJ software, Beat Source Link. I still have problems mixing. I count the BPM, but it still sounds like a train wreck. That has to do with timing, I guess. You're not starting at the right time, or you haven't matched the beats correctly. They have to be playing at the same tempo to make that work. They have to be playing at the same tempo, and you have to start them at the right time. All right, one sec. Check that real quick. Because if he's ready, then I have to just basically stop. Yeah, I have to really end this today, guys, because I gotta get to my kid. I have to get to my kid. Next week will be a longer episode. See, I said in the beginning, I don't have a lot of time, so I know this is going to be one of those episodes where we got a ton of people asking questions, and I absolutely love the fact that y'all are here. So I hate that I have to cut it short, but I have to get to a kid. So today, fatherhood definitely takes that priority. So salute to all of you, Presley. I see all of you with the extra questions in here. My controller's a problem. Advisable to open and clean. Ooh, I don't know about that. X Virtual, what up? What up? What up? Rico Ramos, what's going on? Kunga, what up? What up? Dysfunction, yes. JSG the DJ, I see you. All right, so my peeps, much love. Damn, there's a lot more. Damn, there's a lot more. Oh, I knew this was gonna happen today. So, yeah, my apologies to anyone I didn't get to. Oh, DJ Mac. See, I just scrolled all the way down. DJ Mac, I most definitely remember meeting you in Venice. Yes, yes. Yeah, man, that was a dope summer. We went around Europe. That was my first time seeing a bunch of Italy. Yeah, that was dope. So salute to you, man. 100%. Guys, it's daddy time. I'm back on Friday. Let me just pop that in the screen real quick so you can see, just in case. There you go. I'm back this Friday with certified bangers. Don't know what I'm going to use yet. It's probably going to be the CDJ 3000 because I have them for a little bit longer. So I need to give those some more time. Love those players. Even though I know I want to do an all vinyl certified banger soon as well. So maybe I'll do that in 2 weeks. So that's it for now. Much love to all of you. Salute. See you next time, guys. Peace.